People keep asking me about the day after this war. What's Israel's end game? And not the first time I've been asked this question. I've been asked this question virtually in every round of fighting between Israel and Hamas. This time it's materially different, though. Clearly, in the past, we had this notion that we would exchange quiet for quiet, that if Hamas stopped firing at us, we would stop firing at them. Hamas was paid off with Qatari money. It was incentivized to keep the quiet by allowing upwards of 20,000 Gazan workers into Israel every day. Hamas is not interested in money. Hamas is not interested in the welfare of its people. Hamas is interested in killing us. And I think that is incontrovertibly clear now. And so we must uproot Hamas from Gaza. We must destroy Hamas from Gaza. Now, clearly we can't destroy the idea of Hamas. It's the same idea as ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Hezbollah. That is a problem that is endemic to the Middle East and the Muslim world and require many generations to solve. But we can remove the threat of Hamas. We can remove Hamas from the governance of Gaza, and we can begin to think about the future of Gaza, a future that will enable that area to live in peace and security with its neighbors, Israel, as well as Egypt. And so what does the day after look like? Clearly, this operation and the way Israel is conducting it, what's called the American model, where our forces move cautiously, artillery, air power will neutralize a neighborhood or a village in Gaza. Our troops move into that village, and they use that village as a staging ground for the next advance, into the next neighborhood, into the next village. And that's smart. It reduces as much as possible the losses on our side, and we're intensely sensitive to those losses. And it slowly ratchets up the pressure on Hamas to a point where I believe Hamas, in order to escape from their tunnels where there's no electricity, no food, no water, will exchange their freedom, their survival, for those of our almost 240 hostages. That step-by-step process also has the advantage of limiting the possibility that Hezbollah will be involved in this fight and perhaps limit the number of Palestinian casualties on the civilian side that will be caught or caused by the fighting, as more Palestinians will be able to flee to the relatively safe area of southern Gaza. So then, say, after months of fighting, and it may take months to root out Hamas. Hamas has dug well over 300 miles of underground tunnels and bunkers. Rooting that Hamas out of those tunnels will be very difficult, especially since they have the hostages down there, and we will have to proceed very cautiously. We have units that specialize in clearing tunnels. We have units that specialize in rescuing hostages. They will be called in. It'll be very hazardous work, but we have no choice. Long-term thinking, say a year, 2 years, Israel will want to pass on the keys to Gaza, as we will, to somebody else. The goal will be to internationalize the problem of Gaza. It won't be Israel's problem anymore. It won't be Egypt's problem anymore. It'll be a regional problem, an international problem, as in fact it is, for what has brought two American U.S. aircraft carriers, two strike groups to this region, but Hamas. And Hamas is causing a situation that could risk not just regional war, but international war because of Hamas. So it is indeed a regional and international problem. I think the goal must be to bring in an international force. I think the preference should be for an inter-Arab force, particularly with our Arab allies in the Gulf, to bring them in and let them, first of all, oversee the reconstruction of Gaza. And the reconstruction of Gaza in a way that's not built on an underground tunnel city, but it really gives quality of life to the citizens, that gives water desalination, reclamation, that has electricity, that has power, everything you need for a stable society, and job opportunities. When Israel was in Gaza, when we had these 21 settlements in Gaza, those settlements produced all of the organic vegetables for the state of Israel. This was an intensely fertile area with beautiful coastline. The potential for Gaza is immense. We used to say it could be, it could be the Riviera of the Mediterranean. It could be the Riviera of the Mediterranean if terrorists aren't running it. An international force or an inter-Arab force that will also preside over the installation of a moderate Palestinian government. Whether there should be involvement of the Palestinian Authority in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, is a question that has to be addressed, because right now that Palestinian Authority is viewed by Palestinians as highly corrupt and ineffective. So I don't know if we want to move a corrupt government into Gaza as well, but it should be examined. And it could be part of a broader attempt to move the peace needle forward with the Palestinians. No magic solutions here, but there can be progress, and there can be a diplomatic horizon for the Palestinians if we think creatively and not be prisoner to very old and proven failed formulas. The day after is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the Palestinians, again, to choose a different destiny, a different fate, and to live side by side in peace with us. I'm sure that the vast majority of Israelis will welcome that opportunity. We're willing to cooperate with our Arab allies, with our international allies, above all the United States, ensuring that there is a different Gaza in the future, a Gaza that will no longer threaten us, threaten the Middle East, and threaten the world.
If you want to see more of Ambassador Michael Oren, click on the links up above. Be sure to subscribe, and if you want to ask a question for the ambassador to answer, comment down below.